Joining me now is Energy Secretary Chris Wright. Good morning to you, Mr. Secretary. I guess the first question to you is, what would you like to see come from this meeting today?
Oh, the clear message straight from the president's mouth that America is open for business. He got elected to unleash American energy because energy is involved in everything we do. You lower energy prices and you improve quality of living and you stop inflation. So that's the clear message from President Trump. That's why he got elected, and that's what we're working on every day.
Very good. I've got this one for you. According to a new report, the Biden administration buried a study in order to justify their ban on liquefied natural gas export projects in 2024. That LNG ban, shutting that down. What can you tell us about that report?
Oh, extremely disappointed to see what was done. In fact, last night I was just reading the original report prepared by the Department of Energy in 2023 that clearly showed it was in Americans' interest to grow our LNG exports. It wouldn't impact domestic prices, and in fact, it would lower greenhouse gas emissions. That's what the report said. But the Biden administration had this all-of-government approach against climate change, which clearly wasn't really about climate change, or they would have supported things that were going to drive down greenhouse gas emissions. But for their political interests, or maybe the Jane Fonda TikTok on the Cameron Parish LNG terminal that was trying to get approved, in direct contrast to the results of that study, they initiated the LNG pause after that study was produced, but never released.
China has halted U.S. liquefied natural gas imports for the next 40 days because of the discussion over tariffs. President Trump says China's Xi will make a trip here in the near future. Will energy policy be on the agenda?
Oh, I'm sure it will. Look, energy policy is on the agenda for every meeting with this president, and it always should be. Energy is just essential to national security, to economic security, and to opportunity. Look, the United States is the largest exporter of LNG on the planet, and China is the biggest importer of LNG on the planet. I could break news for you right now if you've got a second.
Yeah.
I just signed literally 15 minutes ago the approval for the CP2 Cameron Parish 2 LNG export terminal in Louisiana. This is a huge growth in U.S. LNG exports, and in fact, it's the very project that Jane Fonda made the TikTok about and probably drove the Biden administration to that really ill-conceived idea to pause LNG export approvals. But it has now been approved. That'll be thousands of American jobs, tens of thousands of jobs across the country, and shrinking our trade deficit and growing American prosperity.
It's funny, House Speaker Mike Johnson said from Louisiana said he met with President Biden about the LNG export ban, and apparently President Biden had no idea and said he didn't sign it, but yes, he did. But I digress. Let's move on. I want to talk about this. The Energy Department just released $57 million as part of a loan payment in hopes of reviving a Michigan nuclear plant. I guess the question is nuclear energy going to be a priority for the Trump administration?
Oh, absolutely. All energy that's affordable, reliable, and secure is a part of the Trump administration, and nuclear absolutely falls in that category. Here's a great nuclear plant in southwestern Michigan that supplied nearly a gigawatt of power for decades, and again, I think was just foolishly closed and shut down during the Biden administration. But that plant should be back online, hopefully by the end of this year, and if not the end of this year, very early next year. Huge benefits.
Well, that's good news. Thank you so much. Chris Wright, Energy Secretary, joining us this morning. Thank you, sir.